and to understand how we need to use electricity so much more efficiently and more carefully. And in a lot of ways, actually having local renewable energy systems generating power in local communities is the way to do that. And so, although offshore is important, it's certainly not the whole picture.
Okay, Piers, thanks so much. See you back in London one day. Thanks for reminding me there that I was supposed to ask the question. Let's go to you now, Senator Milne. So basically, the government here in Australia want to only a 5% cut, which would commit us to the future as depicted in the film. Why is that?
Well, as befits the age of stupid, I've come here straight from the house of stupid, surrounded by the advocates for stupid, under the influence of the lobbyists for stupid. Why is it? The answer is purely and simply that the lobbyists of stupid hold sway in Canberra. Both political parties, Kevin Rudd, Malcolm Turnbull and the whole lot of them, are under the influence of the coal industry, the logging industry. Just today, under the guise of renewable energy, they agreed to put in coal gas into the renewable energy target. It's not renewable, it's a fossil fuel. Plus, they decided to include the burning of native forests as a renewable energy. So we'll be logging the forests and you'll be paying for it. So that's the kind of thing that we have to put up with day in, day out. So for all the greenwash and talk about leadership on climate change, they are just each side of a coin, which is about the old dig it up, cut it down, build a road into it, put a resort on it. That's where they come from.
So if you were in power, if the Greens got into power, what would you do differently?
Day one, the science. Because we've left it so late, we need to get the scientists in and say, what are the targets that are appropriate now to get us to 350 parts per million to give ourselves a chance of avoiding catastrophic climate change? Once we were told that we needed to cut more deeply than even 40%, well, we'd get cracking by, first of all, saving forests and stopping the clearance of native vegetation. That's the fastest way to protect the carbon stores. Then, rapidly expand renewable energy with not only a renewable energy target, but over the top a gross feed-in tariff, so you'd bring on solar, thermal, geothermal, wave power. Then in terms of energy efficiency, you'd have a national energy efficiency target, a rigorous target, retrofit all our houses, new standards for new homes, commercial buildings, and the industrial scale. And if we got on and did that, we could make a massive investment in public transport. That's the first thing in terms of redesigning cities. Urban villages linked by rapid transit, investment in that public transport and electrifying the transport fleet. We could do all that in Australia if we had the will to do it. The thing that we lack is imagination and the political will to do it. We know how to do it, we just don't want to do it because the advocates of stupid and the lobbyists of stupid are dominant.
She's got a plan. Let's just go very, very quickly to another country which has actually seriously got a great plan. This is the Maldives, who announced a very exciting new plan live at the UK premiere of our film, which we were so happy about that we want to show it to you now because it's pretty cool. Can we play the Maldives link? Is this possible? Yes.
My name is Mohammed Nasheed, and I am the President of the Maldives. Today, I can announce to you and the world that the Maldives will be the first carbon-neutral country in the world. We hope to be, and we have planned to become carbon-neutral in the next 10 years, and we feel that we can achieve this. If the Maldives, a small, relatively poor country, can achieve a big reduction in its greenhouse gas emission, there can be no excuse from richer nations who claim that going green is too complex, too expensive, or too much bother. Now the world has an opportunity to come together and prevent the looming environmental catastrophe. This opportunity, as we all know, is called Copenhagen. And let's be very frank about this. Copenhagen can be one of two things. It can be an historic event where the world unites against carbon pollution in a collective spirit of cooperation and collaboration. Or Copenhagen can be a suicide pact. The choice is that stark.
So, I mean, that's what small, undeveloped, poor nations are doing in response to this catastrophe. You know, while your government is doing 5%. Yep, good one, Australia. I think the big question that I'm sure you're all dying to ask is, what can we all do? Aren't you? Yes. So I think we need a range of answers to that most important question, what can we all do? And I believe we've got a young climate activist in the audience with us somewhere. There he is over there, Josh. Josh, what can you do? What can we do?
Well, young people can really be at the forefront of this movement. We're still going to be around in 2055. The organisation I work with, the Australian Youth Climate Coalition, represents over 100,000 young Australians across the country. And next month, we're organising Australia's first national youth vote on climate change, where young people across the country are invited to decide the world they want to live in. They can vote for the world that Kevin Rudd's proposing, the world we've seen in the film, or they can vote for a world that is safe, the world that Christine was describing. Now, it's pretty clear what I'll be voting for. So we need young people to come together around the country to organise voting events in their community and to really get behind that project. It's called Youth Decide, and you can find out all about it online. Now, the second thing, and that's open to everyone, Youth Decide. Please get involved, no matter whether the tag of youth is an aspiration or a reality. That's said as kindly as possible. Said with love. The second event, and this is really vital, it's gone global, is the 350 Global Day of Action. On October 24, quite a few people have heard of it. On October 24, there's already over 1,000 actions planned across the entire planet. You can find out all about it online, 350.org/Australia. It's when the entire world's going to come together and demand from every leader on the planet when we have to have this deal in Copenhagen, or people my age simply don't have a chance.
Thanks, Josh. Great stuff. I believe you're actually going to Copenhagen yourself as well, so I'll see you there. Can I just do a slightly tedious what can we all do, which is please sign up to the Not Stupid mailing list. Hopefully there's going to be mailing list sign-up forms going around in all the cinemas, because over the next 3 months up to Copenhagen, we're going to be sending out all sorts of ideas about how people can get involved in whichever country they're in. So please sign up to stay in touch with us. Also, you know, we have zero advertising budget for this film of ours, and it's getting released in Australia and New Zealand from today, I guess. So please, please, if you did enjoy the film, if you do think it was inspiring, please tell your friends, Facebook them, Twitter them, all the rest of it, because that's really the only way we can reach people is via word of mouth. So, John, over to you. What can we do?
Well, people often forget that it's people that are powerful. We vote for the people who are in government. They work for us. The people who are bureaucrats, they're called public servants. They're supposed to serve us. And we often forget that it's us who ultimately are powerful. And throughout history, people have changed the world and won the fundamental freedoms that we take for granted. The reason women have the vote is because the suffragettes fought for it. The reason that we have the weekend is because the union movement fought for it. You look back to Gandhi, the civil rights movement, you know, the Indian independence movement, the civil rights movement, all of those movements have fought for and won fundamental freedoms, and we need to do that again. And the difference between the future that we saw, the stupid future, and the future that we want, and the vision of a pollution-free future where our homes and factories are powered by, you know, energy from the sun, the wind and the waves, the difference between those two futures is what we do. And I think we really need to go out and seriously roast our members of parliaments so that their ears start to bleed because people are just giving them so much grief about climate change and their inaction. Now, we've got a few months between now and Copenhagen. It's up to us, it's up to all of us to get out there. We've got a range of events coming up. There's the 350.org, going to be a fantastic event because we can't be afraid of the future. It's ours to embrace, and it's up to all of us.